All right, let's go. Rich Pod, Father and Sons. Sons this time, episode 2. Back. Episode 1 was a success. Now it's time for episode 2, where we're going to focus on the Milwaukee Bucks in this
Man,
season and going forward. So, welcome everybody.
welcome
Great to
back.
have y'all back.
Thank thank you for all the likes, subscribes. Keep it going. Keep us growing. Appreciate it. So I think we go a few requests to start out hearing us and our opinions about what happened in the NBA finals, everything that went down. So anybody want to start out with their thoughts on
I predicted it.
it?
You
The
said
Miami
five.
Heat actually got one more than I thought they would get. Go ahead, Lante.
No, I thought that he would have a chance at first, but when Jimmy Butler not playing how he was against the Bucks, then they had no chance. Max Strus wasn't hitting no shots. Uh, Gabe Vincent was doing all right, but if Strus and Butler not doing nothing, they had no chance.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a magical run. That's what happens. And sometimes the magic runs out. You can't take it away. Eastern Conference Finals, play above their heads, and I think they got some good things going forward. But they ran into it was the Nuggets' time. They ran into a juggernaut or a yokernaut, and just what it was. It was a complete team effort. I think they deserved it. I mean, start gelling together. They've been playing for what 7 years together, mostly Jokic and Murray. So it is what it is. I think it was a good series, even though it was all Denver. I think Miami still showed heart. I think Miami, will come back next year, and I don't think they're gonna go to the finals again. But they had a good run.
Well, when you got the best coach in the NBA, then you always got a chance.
Who
Spoelstra's the
was that?
best coach.
The best coach in the NBA.
I agree.
Eric Spoelstra?
Dad got beef with Spoelstra. He don't like
But
Spoelstra.
No.
4 years, they've been in the finals twice and then Eastern Conference finals 3 times.
Right. But the
They
best coach, he's a
what
good
what
coach.
who do you think is the best coach then?
Well, I mean, right now, we would have to say, if you look at take the season as a whole, wouldn't you say Malone because they won? Right or wrong?
I wouldn't say him because you got Joker and you got Murray. The Heat have Butler and sometimes Bam. And he
And they have
Sometimes,
role
man.
players. So you have
a star and a bunch of role players to the finals as the 8 seed when the second game of the play in they almost lost. So they almost didn't even make the playoffs. And they went all the way to the finals.
and that was as a result of the coach.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
coaching, his game plan, and Jimmy Butler.
He getting his best out of his below
Role
par
player.
roster.
I'm not saying he's not a good coach, but the best coach I think is an overstatement. You can't take away if you think about it right now. You even got Pop in San Antonio. If you counting rings, wins,
He came from Pop coaching
experience,
tree.
huh?
He from Pop coaching tree.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. So if you want
And
to
the
say the best,
Spurs won like 24 games.
now we're
You
talking
give
history.
Spoelstra with that roster, how many wins you think he getting, Lante? With the Spurs
Uh,
roster.
Probably like 30.
So better than Pop.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
think Pop, this whole plan this year was to get Wembayama. It's
They
gonna
tanked
be
the whole season.
it's gonna be the next Tim Duncan like arc, maybe. That's what Pop
That's
wanted.
another conversation. his skill set is not as of a Tim Duncan stature. He's not.
He's
I
better.
mean, he's probably going to be great. He's tall and he can shoot. But Tim Duncan had a complete package. Think about, I'm old school. I'm sorry. Think about Tim Duncan at Wake Forest. He dominated college. Wembanyama, I'm sorry, I don't, however his name, he's dominating French, the French league,
I think they
which
got
is
swept in the finals too.
great,
Well,
great
when
players. But
when they played here, they played G League tonight. I think he had a good game against them.
you think, or if he had a great game, he would stand out.
Well, he been talked about all year about the number one pick, and there's been no question.
Okay.
He like
We'll
they
see.
say 7'5" KD.
Okay.
You know, Dad don't like no young players coming in, so he hate on everybody.
Well,
We'll see when he play in the summer league.
Yeah. Okay,
once
I got
again,
I got a question. This is a argument going around Twitter. Now that Jokic has won his ring, like how do y'all rank him and Giannis? They have fairly similar careers, but I think Giannis got the edge because his defensive selections, defensive player of the year. I think they give him above. But if you let Twitter tell it, he Jokic clears him in the all-time rank.
No, Giannis still is, and that's not being biased.
Yeah, I was gonna say they gonna think it's a Bucks bias.
yeah,
You look at all the accolades, Giannis still ahead.
Yeah,
and you look at the complete player. Jokic is great. I mean, you can't do what he's doing and has done and not get, the credit because, you throwing 30, 20, triple doubles and all that is great. But to me, when you go back and you look at the Jordans, Kobe's, and, it's it's defense too. Now, if we talk about defense and Jokic, he's only blocking the shot if it's right there in his face. They can move all around him. Great player. MVP, I think he deserves it. But I think Giannis is on a different level because of his defense.
Do y'all consider after his finals run? Do y'all consider him a top 5 center of all time?
yeah, I saw that too. I already know that answer.
No.
I'm trying. You got Shaq, Wilt, Kareem, Hakeem.
See, here we go. Here we go.
How
Here
you
we
know?
go. Here we go. I knew it. Name that again, please.
You know. I'm with you with the Kareem, but I mean,
No,
Just-
I put Kareem. I'm not putting Wilt and Bill Russell and all that.
What?
I also agree. They was playing against.
You got Shaq, David Robinson,
Yep.
Hakeem, Kareem, and Jokic.
What?
Dad, you wasn't even watching Bill Russell. Why is there no footage of Will Chamberlain's 100-point game? They got Will Chamberlain marching with Martin Luther King doing everything else, but there's no footage of his 100-point game.
You got Will Chamberlain having a 40-point game, 30 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 blocks. They wasn't even keeping stats back then.
Oh, really? See, this is the thing. This is what I like about the new generation and the old generation. Y'all don't respect history. You
We
don't
do.
respect history. You putting Jokic because he won. Granted, he won a championship. How many? Bill Russell. He had 9.
Okay, how
It was
Jokic
like
is a
12
completely
teams in
different
the
player.
league then.
He led the playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists as a center.
Great. Yeah, good. That's really wonderful. But you know what? Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq, Kareem, and the Dream, Hakeem Olajuwon.
How many Hakeem had? Just one, right?
2.
But Hakeem,
Oh, when Jordan took off.
That's not the
one.
only reason.
One season, Hakeem, he won Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and MVP.
Yeah.
So
So
he's above Jokic, Shaq,
here's the thing.
Kareem.
Y'all have to respect history, and Jokic is good now, but don't put him in no top 5 above players of the stats, players that made the game what it is today.
Well,
Yeah.
I respect your decision because you know you more old school. So
Yeah. What about
I'm not
Moses
thinking,
Malone? I don't know nothing about him.
oh,
Is
I
he?
forgot about Moses Malone.
I don't.
Great. So you would have to, that top five would have to be expanded because you can't take Shaq out. You can't take Shaq out. You got to keep Shaq in there. And there was some other really good, great centers. Now, David Robinson, he wouldn't be in my top five, but he would definitely be in my top 10. You
Didn't he
know,
win the MVP?
David Robinson, did he? I think he did. Did he? I don't know. But one thing I do know is that you had a lot of great centers. You got some
you
great,
know,
huh?
so, you know Tim Duncan played half of his career at center.
Right, but we know he was a power forward. Front, and we know he was a power forward. That's just
That's an
like
argument. Some people I know they were saying that Duncan is a top five center. I said, well, most of his,
no.
you know, everybody consider him a power forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely was on the power forward spectrum. Could play center. I mean, think about it. KG dabbled, Kevin Garnett dabbled a little at center at times, but we're not going to consider him a center at all. So, a lot of players. But
Okay.
if y'all gonna throw Jokic in there,
So we all can agree that he's at least top 7. Dad, that's for Dad. I think he's top 5.
no, he's in the top 10.
So who
Okay.
after your five, who was the two ahead of him?
I mean, I can't think of offhand. So let me just, then we'll move on. I said Wilt, Bill Russell, Shaq, The Dream,
Kareem.
Kareem. I'll
See,
get back to that.
it's,
But
it's
I'm
not
not.
many
I'm not.
options.
David Robinson.
So now you putting David Robinson above Jokic?
Oh yes, I am.
Oh.
Yes,
Two-time
I am.
MVP, average triple-double.
Great. You have what? Yeah, as a center, you have two totally different. Okay, let's put this out there. Then let's put Jokic back in the '90s. Is he doing that? Jokic reminds me of Sabonis's dad. The Sabonis in Sacramento now. What's Demontis? His
Yeah.
dad, I remember, he was a big passing big man. He was good, and
Probably couldn't score like Jokic.
no, he
Yeah,
couldn't score like Jokic, so I'll give him that, but I'm saying he's in that realm. I mean, my thing is, I'm not saying he's not a good center. He's a great center. He does wonderful things. They just won a championship because of him. But y'all trying to crown him before he
well,
even earned his due.
to that point that you just said, could he play in the '90s? Could have those centers you named play now?
No.
Probably not
They're
because
gonna
nobody's
be
really
like Rudy
backing
Gobert.
down. Who?
They're gonna be like Rudy Gobert. Just useless on offense.
Right. So you can't ask if Joker could play back then if they can't play now.
Well, they could play now, but the game is different. Everybody wasn't jacking up threes. It was defense. Everybody was okay. Let me ask you this. There we go. 7 feet, or what is Jokic, 6'11", and
Yeah.
flopping. If somebody blow on him hard enough, you think they did that back then? It was no blood, no foul.
Half of those centers you named will be in the G League.
Lot.
Would be what?
Jaleel Okafor averaged 25 and 15 in the 90s. You remember
No,
Jaleel
he didn't.
Okafor?
And Greg Monroe will be a killer back then too.
Yep.
see, y'all. See, y'all going off the deep end now. We can move on to another subject
Yeah,
because
come on.
y'all trying to prove a point.
Okay. Let's get the Bucks part started for Dad losing.
Yeah, let's get
So-
while we here.
Let's just start off discussing how the season went. We know our star doesn't see it as a failure, but maybe y'all got different opinions. I know I've considered it as a failure. As much as we dominated all year, just to come in the playoffs and just lay an egg. I thought the season was a failure, but I guess you're building. But I don't know what y'all think.
Well,
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a failure, but it was disappointing because first of all, you trade 4 second round draft picks and 3 players for 1 player, and you playing what? He played like what 3 or 7 minutes total in the whole series,
Yeah,
and you've been wanting them all season. It comes down to coaching, and I mean, Giannis wasn't healthy, but that's no excuse. But that comes down to coaching.
yeah. See, my thing is why I won't say it's really a failure is because I think it was needed. Because let's say even they got past Miami, they got past, New York, and then they were going against who would have been
Boston.
Boston. We know what happened with Boston with the last time they played them in Milwaukee with that hyped up game. See, it came down to adjustments. I think Coach Bud did great. We got the championship 2 years ago, but something was off. And you can't have that type of roster. You can't have that. They need, a new, fresh air. They needed a change. And I think that it was better that they went out sooner than even if they went later, like got to the finals, lost in 7 games or something, because then it would have been like, let's run it back to current the way it is. But I think this is one instance where I will give y'all credit and say Spoelstra was good because I think he exposed a lot that the Bucks have been able to hide. Butler played great. I mean, I think he played his greatest numbers wise against the Bucks, but that shouldn't have happened like that. Not when you have a team that's top defensive and everything like that. There's no way that should have happened. So I really like the hiring of Griffin. You know, I
Yeah, let's
just I
transition
like
to
that.
that. We can
Yeah, I
transition to
think
that. I don't know much about Adrian Griffin. I just know like his coaching stops and stuff. I don't know much about the player or the person. So
yeah,
if
I
y'all did,
watched
y'all.
him as a player. Y'all probably was still, in diapers. Well, maybe not diapers, but he was a good. Wasn't like 20 and 10 and all that, but he was one of those good hard nosed players. He was good defense. I think that's what's really gonna help him. And he knew how to win. That's what sometimes like you see a lot of players and their stats and their careers. He knew how to win and he was humble. I think in that news conference he talked about some of his stops and the people he gave respect to the people he's been under. And if you think and look at some of them teams, especially look at that Toronto team, and what they've done, even if they, since their championship year, they haven't been great. And I'm talking like he's the head coach, but he was an assistant on there. And think about when they played the Bucks, they always gave the Bucks trouble because of their length, because of their defense. They started with the whole wall with Giannis, right? Or was it Boston? I think it was
It's
Toronto.
Toronto. Hmm.
So, I think, like I said, his as a player, I think, and you have to sometimes you have to give people a chance. I know there's the other names out there and all that, but I think when you look at it as his history, and I think, we weren't there, but I know when they said when he met with Giannis, I know I seen some stuff where, I think he liked the fact that he was a player before. And doesn't mean that coaches that didn't play or we have some great ones that didn't play, but I think that and he just brings a new element that we know the Bucks can score. We know the Bucks, have been good defensively, team defense, and we got some good individual defenders, but I think that the whole process is going to change. I love the hire. I'm excited about the hire in the season. So
I think that whole what they've been doing, the whole let it fly thing, I think that's gonna change. I think they still gonna shoot threes, but I think it's not gonna be everybody can come down and just pull. Because
no,
he in Toronto he was the main defensive coach, so he did all the scouting and came up with all the schemes for the game. And I just saw, I think on Instagram recently, he was in Greece with Giannis. probably
Yeah,
last week, playing with his kids and stuff. When they was at practice, I guess practicing, Marjon was there too.
yeah,
So it looked like he got a good camaraderie, with Giannis, and I think Giannis was the main reason that he got hired.
Well, yeah, they
everything go
said
through
he was
Giannis.
his pick.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's another player. Not to jump subjects, but I think Marjan was underused last year.
Well,
You know,
Bud didn't rarely play rookies.
Yeah,
well,
remember Dante rookie year? Well, I think he was hurt most of his rookie year, but even when he wasn't getting in. That's the Bucks'
Well,
last first round pick since Marjon.
I
So
think I think the Bucks fans gonna go crazy when they see a simple adjustment made because they're not used to it.
yeah,
you talking
Griffin
about
said
in
that.
game?
Yeah,
Adjustment. They ain't gonna know what to do.
Well, I like it. Like I said, I think to me, I think they're good if they ran it back with the same team, which I know it probably
well,
won't be.
well, well. Let me cut you off because that's what we're gonna transition with to next. We're gonna play a game called well, just stay or keep. I'm gonna say a Bucks player name, whether you would want them to stay or stay or keep. That's the same thing.
We're gonna
Stay or
have really
go.
different opinions on this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Okay.
go.
So we're gonna start out. We'll just go alphabetical order. Grayson Allen.
Stay.
Right now,
I say trade if you can get somebody an upgrade because I think he got a tradable contract. He gave him 2 years. I think it's time to move on.
he should have been gone at the deadline.
Keep.
Okay, so next one is Giannis. That's obvious. Keep.
Trade.
Uh,
No,
yeah, right. Thanasis.
Got to keep him to keep Giannis.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say.
he's
Yeah.
there as
And
long
he's
as
their
Giannis there.
energy. He's there. You need a player like him. You, you need a player like that. And then let's not get off the fact that he can actually play. I mean, he may be all over the place, but he can actually play. I mean, I would have loved to see him, as crazy as it sounds, thrown on Jimmy Butler for 5 minutes in the whole
5 minutes.
series. That's fine.
Yeah.
Give him a different look. But
Okay,
okay.
but just quick on that point. You didn't even need him. You got Crowder, you got Matthews, and you got Drew. You could have rotated all of them.
I would love to see Matthews' stats when he was guarding Jimmy Butler. I swear, every time he was on Jimmy Butler, he gave him trouble.
He did. He
Yeah.
did. Drew did too. I mean, we can't knock Drew. I mean, a top line defender. Just he was having a heck of a series, and he was just getting wore down. You got to make adjustments. I don't care. It's not like Drew is 22 years old. He in good shape, but come on, make some adjustments.
You just got killed that series.
Yeah.
It
And
ain't
Drew
nothing
said
going
it.
on.
Drew said it. He said it himself, so you can't even say that. He said he got killed himself.
Well, I wouldn't say he got killed. The adjustments wasn't made, but
That's a
hey,
good point of the game.
it wasn't
On
38.
it was 38 on 60% from the field and 40 from three. Jimmy Butler.
He
Yeah.
got killed.
Just is what it
Next
is.
player.
All
Next
right.
player.
Next player is Marjon Beauchamp.
Keep.
So let's say the Wizards, just some crazy scenario. You got to give up Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton, or Grayson Allen, but they say you got to throw in Marjon. Would you do it?
For who?
Bradley Beal.
No.
Would you
I
trade
would.
Marjon for a current star?
I would.
No.
I would too.
Our
No.
window is as big as people think it is.
Yeah,
We got
It
a
doesn't.
because
couple, maybe 2 3 years
Okay.
window.
Let me ask you this then I won't get too far off subject. The Brown dude in Denver, Christian Brown, the rookie, didn't he impact? He impacted. They won game 3 because of him. And plus, he had plenty of good moments. And why? As a rookie, he was allowed to play. You don't think next year he's taking the next step up?
I think he was more NBA ready than Marjon though.
No.
Well, you still got to think though. If you can get the star for him, Why
You
wouldn't
gotta
he?
take that any day of the week
What
instead of
star?
taking the risk.
Some aging star that probably got another year left in him that might not fit in. Even Giannis said this guy is going to be great. That's why he's over in Greece now. That's
Yeah, I
why
was
he
gonna
was
say.
taking him under his wing. So
Okay,
Yeah.
but you gotta think. You say an aging star. Our team is aging, so we need to win now.
we need youth.
Okay, but you gotta think. Giannis has if they can sign him to a contract. I think next summer. If we don't do nothing this year, you think he's gonna sign that contract?
But as long as
What
Marjan
star?
there though,
What
what then?
star are y'all gonna trade for Marjan?
He said the scenario was Bradley Beal.
Just say they
Bradley
cook
Beal.
up some package, but they demand Marjan Beauchamp be in it.
No.
You're not trading
They,
Marjan for 28 points per game.
they can send him first flight out to Washington.
Right.
I'll
And
pay for it.
then we'll be doing this podcast in February where Marjan is averaging 13 and 8 and 4 steals. Defense what they need. And that star y'all need is on the sideline. Have you seen the number of games missed over the last 3-4 years?
I wouldn't want to play for the Wizards either.
Okay, but you saying he averaging
I like
13 and
Bill,
8.
but we're talking fit.
A star that score can fit anywhere.
And he'll fit with
That's what
Giannis
they
because
said about Iverson.
he's a
That's
good
what they said
playmaker
about
too.
Iverson.
Bill's a good playmaker too, so he'll fit good right next to Giannis.
Do you remember when Bill and Wall was playing together and they was going to the playoffs every year?
The first round, I remember.
Okay, but you had Bill and Wall. I mean, you had Gortat as your center.
I was just about to say that. Had
Yeah.
39-year-old Paul Pierce playing small forward for him.
They had somebody else. They probably would have made it past the first round.
Okay. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Okay.
I would take Bill if Marjan was the deal.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you're talking Bobby Portis, Marjan. Who would you say, Pat?
Yeah, I was just trying to match salary, but I still don't think that'll even work. But just whatever they cook up.
And you sign a bunch of veterans to veteran minimums, and you'll be good. That's your team.
Disagree.
Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Who's next? Javon Carter.
Keep.
I think he can go. He don't. I don't. Huh?
Who was the backup point guard then?
I don't know. We can find one, but they gonna get Derrick Rose. They love Derrick Rose. If they gonna decline his team
the
option,
Knicks did too. They really
No,
love Derrick Rose.
the Bucks been trying to get Derrick Rose for like 3 years. I think it's inevitable this summer, but I think Javon Carter he's gonna try to get a decent contract. I already seen it say he gonna decline his player option. So I think he gonna try to. Yeah, I know, but I'm thinking from a Buck standpoint, they ain't gonna be able to afford him. They don't got no money. So just let him go.
I would agree with that, but you said he can go. I don't think if we got a choice, I would keep him if we had a choice.
Okay.
He'll be back. My thing is, a lot of these players are probably going to be excited, just like you've been seeing some trade stuff with Bobby Portis. I mean, that could be the next one. You go ahead.
You want to just do Bobby Portis now?
Yeah. I say keep.
I think you can get a better asset.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna get traded though.
Yeah, I think he get traded before Thursday. I think the Bucks are trying to get in the first round, so I think Bobby Portis is the only logical person that can get traded for a first round pick on their roster.
That would be crazy. The impact that he has and what he brings to that team is invaluable. So if they trade him, huh?
He want to be in LA.
Hey, he want to play with him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
LA. No, they need to keep Bobby.
Like if the right move come around and Bobby got to be dealt, he can go. All right, your guy there, Pat Connaughton.
Keep.
I mean, he got a team friendly contract, so you can keep him unless we need him to be in a deal.
Yeah, I feel the same.
See, that's the young generation. Just deal. Just if they can be in a deal, what we can get. This y'all do know this is a team 2 years removed from a championship.
That was a completely
Yeah,
different team. But they've been
Same
running
point.
it back for the past 2 years since that, and it ain't got it done.
A lot of injuries. Y'all can't tell me if Giannis was healthy for all them games that Miami still would have beat them. They wouldn't
hey,
have.
but you got to think during our finals run is a lot of injuries, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
So
it's just part of the playoffs.
Yeah, you're right. But keep Pat Connaughton.
Okay.
Next, keep Pat Connaughton.
Jay Crowder.
I would say keep.
we can sign him to a veteran minimum. That's the only way.
He
I
not
don't want.
accepting veteran.
He can go. Send him out there to L.A. wherever you want to go. He can't move no more. He's done.
He didn't get a chance.
That dude,
He got a whole muscle.
he was sitting the whole year. What was he doing? Why did he come back
Yeah,
not able to move his feet?
but it's
That's not
different
true.
though. Game speed is different than practice.
I
You
get
get
that, but
him with this team from training camp on, and he will be a valuable asset. I say keep, but who knows? I
he's
know
probably
who the
gonna.
next one is.
What? Who's the next one?
Ingles.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can go to Ingles.
He can stay for veteran minimum. Other than that, he can go.
Yeah. Then
What
I
is he about 37?
he's listed
that's
at
not old.
35, so
He can go.
yeah.
I think they keep him. He to me he could be similar to George Hill, you know, veteran. That they all need. You need that veteran, leadership, and that I say keep Ingles if possible.
I mean, the
He can
team
go.
is full of that.
Yeah.
We the oldest team in the NBA.
Need some
Well, yeah,
youth. Can't keep keeping all these old players, man. Joe Ingles, he can't move. He's just a statue spot up 3-point shooter. And he can create a little play make off the pick and roll, but it's a
he can
whole
give
other
you a good
side.
10 minutes a game. 10 minutes a game.
Yeah, traffic cone.
Yeah, literally, he can't move.
This you boy, I tell you, this younger generations. All right, next player.
Goran Dragic.
Oh yeah, he no.
They lost that last game. His bag should have been back.
I don't know why they even brought him in. He barely played.
What he didn't give a chance?
He didn't deserve one. Yo,
Well,
Wow,
I'll say that's on the coaching though, because if you sign him, gotta give him a chance.
just like Crowder.
Yeah,
All right, who next?
uh, we're not gonna do AJ Green. Drew Holiday.
Keep.
yeah, you keep him unless you can get a bona fide star,
What is he?
someone that don't show up in the playoffs.
I seen a picture of his numbers every single game with the Bucks for his shooting percentages. It was like 4 for 14, 6 for 20. It was some bad numbers.
Our finals run, he was good, but the playoffs since then, he was Eric Bledsoe 2.0.
He
No,
makes
no, no way, no way whatsoever. Last year he was carrying when Middleton was out in that Boston series. He was doing y'all. Y'all can't let one, little series, one episode define nothing. If that's the case, then put Kobe out his rookie year when he shot all them air balls. Come on now.
Drew Holiday's in
Kobe
year like
played 20
13.
years.
Yeah.
Huh?
And you remember
Kobe played 20
you
Really?
remember what was it, game when the Bucks won in Boston, game 5? When Bobby Portis got that tip in at the end. Then they went back to Milwaukee and the Bucks had like 94 points. And I think Giannis had like 46 of them or something like that. Where was Drew Holiday then? To close out and go to the Eastern Conference Finals, where was your guy Drew
Okay.
Holiday then?
Listen,
I don't
y'all
think he
can
had
throw
that
out
good of a series.
y'all numbers. Guy, I get it. I look at an overall player, what they bring to the team. Who are you going to get to replace? Drew is a perfect fit with Giannis, Middleton, Brook, and all that. You keep them.
Okay, let me
Okay,
throw
and you
this out.
gotta think.
Oh,
You gotta think. He said after his current contract, he retired.
yep.
Okay.
That's 2 years. So next year he might not be, worth nothing. So you gotta trade. If you gotta trade him now to get assets back, you gotta trade.
Keep. My opinion.
Okay, let me throw this out there. This is swirling around. I don't think the Blazers would accept this. It's Simons, Anthony Simons, and the number 3 pick. Would you do that for Drew
For who?
Holiday?
No.
I would do it as soon as they ask.
As soon as they
See,
offer it, send it into the
yeah.
league.
And then they're going back another 3 years, and Giannis is gone too. Because then why are they giving up on Simons? That
Because
should
he's
tell
their
you.
most valuable asset besides Sharp. They don't want to trade
Right.
Sharp.
You can get. I know this won't happen, but Simons and Scoot Henderson.
But
Who?
I heard an argument. They said because Giannis is 29, do he got time to wait for a 19-year-old to come in and develop like Scoot or Brandon Miller, whoever will be there?
Wait, he ain't got to wait. You
That
take them under the wing. Scoot is NBA ready now.
He built like a
okay.
linebacker.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody is. Everybody just like the Victor, the French Victor Wembale, where everybody is ready, gonna come in and dominate the league. Not forget the players that's been there. I'm not trading Drew Holiday. I'm not trading Drew Holiday.
Okay, so let's move to the next one. Myers Leonard.
Nah. I mean,
That's the first one you said no to.
well, I only say that because I just don't see. I mean, to me, they need an athletic big. He can shoot. He just no.
He can go.
Yeah, I don't
We
think there
finally
needs to
agree.
be. I don't think it needs to be much discussion there. All
He
right.
was at the press conference though.
Yeah, him and Ingles. I hope that don't
Harden
mean they
too.
coming back. Yeah. Uh, Brooke Lopez.
Keep.
Yes, I, they need him, but if he asked for too much money,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll cut it off at like 2 years, 30.
What?
Yeah.
You
15
think he
mil a
get
year.
if some team offer him 20 million a year, he is gone.
Yeah. He's 35. He's gonna take that contract.
He an unrestricted free agent too, so
Yep.
Well, I mean, he's a big piece of what they do.
I want
Who
him back.
you?
But I'm if if he get offered a lot of money, he gone.
Well, yeah. Then you can't control that. But who's replacing Brooke Lopez on the free agent market? Nobody.
Yeah.
What he do? No.
Right.
I think
Okay.
he want to come back to the Bucks. I was reading an article earlier in the year that said they was already talking.
Yeah,
I
but
see.
remember his last contract was a team friendly contract.
Yeah, I would try to
So
get his
this one,
money. He
he worried
probably, yep.
about himself.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. When you get up there in age, veteran players, you might not get too many more. So he got to get what he deserves. And the season he put up last year, he deserves it. Bottom line.
Yeah. All right. Wesley Matthews.
I mean,
Veteran minimum.
Yeah.
I like Wes. He gives him some good, moments. So I think I can see keeping him because he's effective. So yeah, Wes I would keep Wes.
Yeah, me too. All right. It's the big one. Chris Middleton.
I would say keep.
It's on him. You got a player out.
He gonna decline it. They say he gonna
Oh
decline.
yeah.
Well, hopefully decline it, then take a more team friendly deal.
If he take a team friendly deal, yeah. If he want all the money, sign and trade.
Well, I
What?
think he'll be. I mean, we got to look at it. Middleton last year was kind of not a lost year, but all the injuries plus dealing with some personal stuff. So we know what kind of player he is. We know how he works with Giannis. We know how. So I think they bring him back. I think they're going to
I
try to run it back, to be honest with you, with pretty much the same team, probably a few people gone, but they're going to see what they can do with a whole new scheme. Um, I think listening to that introductory press conference with Coach Griffin, it seems though they are going to try to run it back. I like the coaching staff that they build in too. I hate the fact that the Bucks lost Lee, but I like their staff.
Mm. Well, we did Bobby Portis already, so that's the whole team. Let's see. I want to hear y'all thoughts on the Bucks potentially getting Bill. What would you trade for Bradley Bill? Would you trade one
Me?
of the big three for Bradley
No,
Bill? Obviously not Giannis, but Chris or Drew.
not me.
it would. I don't know because his contract is huge. He's making like 50 something a year,
Yeah,
and he's the only player in the NBA with a no trade clause. So if it was not to work out, you can't trade him wherever you want to.
yeah. That's a risky
That's what I'm saying.
business for whatever team do trade for him.
You got to think about it because, like, the Mavericks gave up all that for Kyrie, that was a big risk, and now he might not even come back. So they just lost all that for nothing.
And
Yeah,
they lost some very good players that fit the scheme. So
Right.
that's why teams be so quick to gut and trade. I get it. You can get a Kyrie Irving. You can get Bradley Beal or a Dame Lillard, but how well does it blend with your team? So
Well, if we talking Dame, that's a whole different story. But Bill, I'm not sure. I'll
similar.
trade Drew for Dame.
You'll trade
yeah.
who?
Drew Holiday for Dame. I think that's something you send in a heartbeat.
Yeah, there's no question about
I think y'all tend to forget about the defensive and just the overall that Drew brings to the Bucks.
No, I don't forget about it, but Dame is an automatic 30.
Okay. Yeah, scoring wins, even though it's, we got games these days 140 to 138,
Right. But if
offense.
you're the team with 140, you won.
Yeah.
This thing called defense.
The
Like
Bucks were a
140,
great defense. The Bucks were a great defense before Drew was even there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got to remember, Bledsoe, he was a great defender. He was terrible on offense, but he was a good defender.
All right. Okay. I'm keeping Drew. I mean, that's just me.
You rather have Drew over Damian Lillard?
I like the team and the concept that they have now.
If you was the coach, you'd have been fired if you declined.
right?
That
And
would
I'm
be a
pretty sure,
terrible GM.
yeah, and y'all would have been right fired with me with some of these crazy ideas y'all throwing out there. So we'll
If
be
that,
looking for work together.
that was your thinking, I wouldn't be on your coaching staff.
Goodbye. Go to
Uh,
the unemployment line. See who pick you up. Hey,
all
you asking my opinion? Like I say, I'm from the old school.
right. All right. This probably be our last topic. It's just some quick free agent targets, just like a quick yes or no. Uh, First we're gonna do. Let's see, Kelly Oubre.
No,
Not feeling.
I don't. Yeah, nah.
I would say
Decent
he
yes.
won't.
players. Of course you would.
He
Uh,
won't fit.
you don't think he gonna fit? Well, Bogdan signed an extension, right, with the Hawks. Didn't he sign an extension?
We already went through with him. We don't need
But the
him.
Bucks obviously like him, so
Yeah, we lost draft pick.
yeah.
Yeah. So no.
I don't think they're gonna be able to afford this guy, but Gary Trent Jr.
He
He
not
gonna
like
get.
coming off the bench.
He gonna be a 20 million player
Yeah,
per year. So
they might as
we
well
can't
play
afford.
Marjan.
Thank you.
Um, Buddy Hield.
No.
If we could afford him, I would, but
Yeah,
we won't be able to afford
yeah. I think that would be a great fit.
Coming off the
Dorian,
bench.
he'll start. Start him at the 2. Sign and trade Grayson Allen. Build the Indiana Bucks over there.
Yeah. Then we'll just it won't be enough balls to go around. But who was the next one?
Dorian Finney-Smith, which I don't even think he's a free agent, is he?
him. No,
Oh, this
he just signed that contract with the Mavericks.
no. Oh, that says trade targets. Would you trade for Dorian Finney-Smith?
I like him. I like his defense, but like I said, I would like to see what we have in Marshawn.
If it was
Think
for Grayson Allen and somebody, yeah.
You just
I'm
want
keeping
Grayson Allen
Grayson.
gone.
I'm keeping Grayson Allen.
If we can get Dorian Finney-Smith, Grayson Allen, he shoot. He got no defense. Dorian Smith, he could shoot and he got defense.
Grayson plays defense.
He tries.
Everybody targets him on offense. The only they see a switch is like a bright light pop up.
Mm-mm. Who
Emmanuel
next?
Quickly. You seen he out in Greece. He was at
I
this. He
I
would.
was
would
at the
take
same
hey,
spot as Giannis.
for his scoring. I would take him. I think he's a good. I think he's a good backup guard, and he gets steals too. So I definitely would take. I would take him.
He'll microwave right off the bench.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would. I
they
think that would be a good pickup for him.
yeah they was looking for. They was remember they was looking at him at the trade deadline, and right now he out in Greece. His friend posted some picture, and then Giannis' oldest brother posted the same picture. So they in the same spot. They think Horse cooking up another Bogdan and Drew deal
With who?
Well,
with Bill and Quickly.
No, no,
we'll see.
Yeah,
I
no.
think the Bucks. I think the Bucks gonna be active in trade. So
yeah, something's gonna happen before Thursday. Dad ain't gonna like
That's
whatever it is, but something gonna happen
nah,
on Thursday.
nah. Whatever it is, they could keep.
he don't like change.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
old school mentality.
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't get this wisdom by just following trends.
Well, we got one championship in 50 years. So
Yeah,
And okay, Denver got his first one ever, and it took a lot of building.
yeah, well they just got it.
Yeah. So, hey, well, that's
Mhm.
what it is. That's what we do. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, I like the team where it is. A few adjustments would be fine, but I don't think they need to blow up with no big trades and do all that and just ruin the chemistry. I say give Coach Griffin and this new staff, give them a chance what they got and see what works. It's my
Mhm.
opinion. It's
Well,
my 2 cents.
I think change is needed. If it's the right change, it can be needed. If it's not,
I
I'm willing to run it back.
we gotta end the podcast, but it's a few names I could throw out, with my argument over the years from y'all that would probably
Thon
just make
Maker.
y'all. No, I'm just saying a few names I could throw out there that y'all thought was gonna be the next great thing, and the Bucks needed to do it, and you know what happened. So we'll leave it
Yeah.
at that.
Well, any last remarks? Anybody get?
Right?
Well, Bucks need to do something. Obviously, last year ain't work. Something gotta happen.
Hey, I'll put it like this. My last remarks is, the team, it was a bit disappointing what happened, but it was needed so that the change was brought in. I see big things with this coaching staff and the players. It's be a whole new breath of fresh air. I look forward to it. Think it's good to go. I like it. I don't see no big changes needed. I think they made the change that was needed, and it's gonna go for good. So,
All right. Guess we'll end it off there. Appreciate y'all for listening.
oh
Follow
yeah,
us on
oh my
what?
fault. Sorry.
What was you just gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say that, just remember, keep God first, and everything else will follow. Now you can end it. My fault.
Happy
Yep.
Father's Day to everybody.
Yep. Follow us on all platforms at the Rich Pod. Like, subscribe. Talk to y'all next week.
Have a good one. Go Bucks.
I'm glad that happened right